Green Fever, Part 1. Gunshots brought Mark from his hiding place in the trees to the mouth of the barn. Usually a sound like that was a bad thing to follow, and every instinct would normally lead him away from the shots. Except now the sound meant that someone was alive inside that barn. At least, that's what Mark hoped. It wouldn't have been the first time that month he'd seen people shoot themselves just to escape. But the whinny of a panicked horse brought to light another reason for the shots. The barn must have gone green. Tying a rag around his mouth and nose, Mark pushed the large door open, then leapt out of the way of a stallion as it galloped past. It hardly made it 2 steps beyond the exit when a shot rang out, and it fell to the earth with a horrid cry. The dirt beneath it began to darken as blood poured from the wound deep in the horse's flank. Another shot brought Mark's attention back to the barn, and he saw that the person causing the sound was a young woman. She was wielding a double-barreled shotgun, taking horses down in their stalls. It was like she couldn't even hear their screams. Her face was manic and raged, though tears ran down her cheeks, and she shuddered with horror each time she had to pull the trigger. Green liquid was splattered on her face. "Hey now!" Mark yelled, reaching forward and grabbing the gun from the girl's loose grip. He pulled the other half of his torn bandana out of his pocket and began wiping the girl's face. She didn't seem to react. The girl just became still and sobbed and let Mark clean the green off of her. "Hey now, sweetie, are you infected?" he asked, trying to stay calm. He used to have a daughter her age. That was the first time the girl seemed to notice him, and she looked to him with wide eyes. "The horses," she muttered dully, new tears flowing down her face. "They're all green." "I know, honey, I know." Mark nodded, putting his hands on either side of her face to try and get her to focus. "Are you infected?" he asked again, more slowly. "No." The girl looked at her hands, the light flesh beneath her fingernails. "I'm fine. The horses are gone, though." She looked around as though this news were new to her. "Where did the horses go?" "We had to let them out, honey. They had to go away." Mark tried to remain calm as he spoke. She couldn't have been older than 15. Bets were fair that she had never before touched that shotgun. But the green did funny things to people. "Listen, doll. Tell me your name. What's your name?" The girl looked to Mark, as though realizing for the first time that he was a person she didn't actually know. "I'm Samantha." "Well, Sama," Mark's eyes crinkled as he smiled under his bandana, "we've got to get out of this place. It's not safe here anymore, you understand?" He pulled her up and set her on her feet. Then he pulled her up again as she fainted, and carried her out of the barn. A good thing, too, her eyes were closed, he thought, else she'd have to look at the stallion shot down in the doorway, surrounded by a pool of vivid green.